Do I have to combine James Bond with Mr. Bean? This sounds amazing, but it really isn't. I love Mr. Bean. I love Rowan Atkinson as Mr. Bean. I also enjoy James Bond, the recent ones with Daniel Craig. So you combine these two things, it sounds like a masterpiece waiting to happen. Now, going into this film, I did not know that it had two previous films, Johnny English and Johnny English Reborn. These films really weren't that successful. The first one was made on a really low budget, so when it didn't bring in much money, it wasn't like it had a loss. The second one was much the same story, and I can say that for this film as well, that it was made on a very low budget, so it didn't lose any money, really, so that's a positive, but everything else really was bad. First, the things that I enjoyed. Rowan Atkinson, he's the most enjoyable thing about this movie. He's a good character. His comedy comes off in this movie. It shows why he has made audiences laugh and enjoy him for many years. He still is very enjoyable in this film. Everything else, the material, the comedy, the jokes, everything in here really irritated me. I was going through this whole movie dreading having to give this thing a rating. I was looking for things to praise, and the jokes in here, this film really tries to imitate a lot of James Bond elements, and I can appreciate a parody, like something that tries to emulate something else, something that tries to pay tribute to another entity or product. Some of that can be entertaining. I mean, take things like Wreck-It Ralph. It is basically one big product placement, but people enjoy it because it's got a good story and narrative. This, not so much. Again, Rowan Atkinson is very enjoyable in this film. His, I guess, equivalent of a Bond femme fatale or Bond girl in this film, she really is cold. There's nothing here. It's like she didn't have a script. It was very uninspired, very unfunny, and a lot of the jokes in here are racial slurs. They are violent things that happen in the film that are completely bloodless, but they're played for humor, like pushing an elderly person into traffic so that something bad doesn't happen. That is an actual thing that happens in this film. And again, I just really did not enjoy this movie. The direction was confusing, the filmmaking, the camera cut at really odd times. A lot of the shots seemed really rushed. It was like they wanted to make this film too fast. It's like they showed the script to the studio and said, this is what we have, and they weren't willing to extend the release date for them, so they just put out what they had, and what they had was complete terrible garbage. This film gets a 2.5 out of 10. That is the lowest rating I can recall giving on this channel. I did not enjoy nearly anything about this film, apart from the fact that Rowan Atkinson is in it and he's likable. If you want anything more than that, this film's really going to disappoint you. Thank you so much, as always, for watching, everybody. I really do appreciate it. As always, you can comment below. Let me know if you saw this film. It wasn't promoted very well. I didn't know about it until very recently. But thanks again for watching. I appreciate you all. You matter, and I will see you in my next review. As always, take care.